Hello and welcome. You're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program this evening, one of India's top superstars, Salman Khan, will spend 5 years in jail after he was found guilty of many charges including culpable homicide in a hit-and-run case that took place in 2002 and killed one person and injured 4 others. The victims, of course, were asleep on a pavement in the Bandra suburb of Mumbai. At the moment, Salman Khan is not in jail because he's appealed against the verdict in the High Court and has got interim bail on the grounds that his lawyers have not yet got a copy of the judgment. While ordinary people across India have welcomed the verdict as proof that everyone is equal before the law, Bollywood and the film industry at large has been quick to rally behind Salman Khan, with some of them even calling the verdict unfair. On The Buck Stops Here tonight, we ask whether this verdict will provide a template, a precedent for all future such cases and is proof that India's law and legal system is the great leveller between the rich and the poor. We also ask whether Bollywood's response is appropriate. Is it understandable? As Bollywood plays victim, has it and the media forgotten about the real victims, those who were injured, one of them who died in that 2002 hit-and-run case? Let's introduce our panel this evening. Joining us from Mumbai is Mahesh Jethmalani, senior advocate in the Supreme Court. We're also joined by Shobha De from Mumbai, well-known author and columnist. From Bangalore tonight, we're joined by Sohail Seth. He's an author and a brand guru and an advertising consultant as well. We're also joined by Zafar Sareshwala. He's not just a businessman and the vice-chancellor of a university, but a close family friend of Salman Khan and his father, Salim Khan. From Mumbai today, we're also joined by senior journalist Nikhil Wagli. And also with us on the program tonight is Farah Khan Ali, a jewellery designer whose tweets supporting Salman Khan have attracted a great deal of controversy along with those of singer Abhijit. And last but absolutely not the least, when it comes to this program, one of the victims telling his story in his own words. From Uttar Pradesh tonight, we're joined by Mohammad Kaleem, one of the 4 who was injured in this hit-and-run case for which Salman Khan has been found guilty. Mahesh Jethmalani, I'll start with you. As a matter of law, how significant is this verdict? Would you go so far as to say it is a watershed moment? Will this now provide a template for other such cases in the future?
Well, I think no, because the watershed moment came with Alistair Pereira's case. Remember the same case, but a little later in 2006, Salman's is 2002.
Yeah.
That surprisingly was over before Salman's case. And I think the template was really set there, that, accidents have become now really legion in India. Rash driving or speedy driving and drinking and driving. The Supreme Court said that it's time that, we had enhanced sentences. And they actually brought these kind of cases within the scope of culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. I think that was a watershed case. So the precedent has already been set for Salman Khan.
But Mahesh, if I may ask you, in the Alistair Pereira case, 7 people were killed. But if I'm not wrong, the Bombay court initially just gave a 6-month term. And then there was huge criticism and he finally ended up with just 3 years. Salman's actually got more than that with 5 years.
Yeah, well, I have to say there's disparity over there. That Alistair Pereira was lucky because what happened in that case was that he was acquitted of the charge of culpable homicide. The lower court found him only guilty of rash and negligent driving, for which the maximum was 2 years.
Yeah.
The state filed an enhancement appeal and said culpable homicide should have been imposed. He should have been convicted for the same. And the High Court then convicted him for culpable homicide not amounting to murder. That was where the template really started, and then said that the sentence should be 3 years.
Yeah.
Alistair Pereira then carried the matter to the Supreme Court, but the state didn't carry an enhancement of sentence appeal.
Yeah.
So while the Supreme Court said that 3 years was too little in Alistair Pereira's case, it says we are powerless to do anything because the state has not filed an appeal for enhancement of sentence.
I just want to bring in Shobha Day now. Shobha, your tweets were a
So
bit...
yeah,
got your point. Shobha, what's the big takeaway? When I look at the public responses, especially in the social media space today, it's almost like there are two parallel universes. There is the ordinary citizen who's saying, here's proof that everyone is equal before the law. And then there's the film industry that is saying, what a sad day, we feel so terrible. Some even going so far as to say what has happened is most unfair. Almost all of them forgetting that there are victims, there are poor people, some of them even questioning why these poor people were sleeping on the pavement. Is Bollywood playing victim? Is Bollywood out of sync with what most Indians are feeling today, Shobha?
Well, there's always been a serious disconnect between what Bollywood thinks, feels and says in the public domain and what the rest of India thinks, feels and behaves when something like this happens. Now, in Salman's case, it's a very interesting phenomenon because he's not just our most bankable star, I'd say the most bankable star, but also there's a huge amount of support for him outside Bollywood as well. While the common person is definitely feeling that this is, like you said, you use the word template, that there is hope for the average person in India accused of the same crime, that there's nobody but nobody who's above the law. But there are also those who are arguing, and I'm talking about just the regular people, I've spoken to quite a few of them, who feel that perhaps it's his celebrity hood that has got him this very serious and strict kind of, the 5 years jail term. They also argue that there are people, politicians in particular, netas, cops, other people who get away with that and much, much more. So the common person, divided opinion. In terms of Bollywood, yes, Bollywood would support one of their own. It's but natural. But in the process, I mean, it's fine to display solidarity. By all means, do it. By all means, declare your love. But for God's sake, show some sensitivity towards the victims.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
cannot be so high-handed. You cannot be so arbitrary. And you cannot say, why are they sleeping on the pavement? They're sleeping on the pavement because they have no other place to sleep. They're homeless and they're poor. So it defeats me how anybody could make a mockery out of the lives of the thousands in Mumbai who spend their lives growing up on the pavement, sleeping on the pavement, procreating on the pavement, for heaven's sake.
I want to just go back to Mahesh for a moment, and then I want to hear from Mohammed Kaleem, one of the victims. Mahesh, this debate continues. Are celebrities judged by different standards? Are those standards harsher? Are those standards softer? Questions are being asked as to why Salman Khan got interim bail in a hearing that lasted just 10 minutes. Now, I spoke with Harish Salve, his lawyer. From what I understand, it's on a technicality. They said we haven't got a copy of the judgment. But the perception has already become, see how quickly it took 13 years to get a conviction and 10 minutes for him to get interim bail. So how do you see this as a lawyer?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Barkha, I just want to make three quick points on that. Firstly, it is abysmal that this trial should have taken so long, 13 years. But that's a systemic delay. I don't think you can blame either prosecution or defense. Cases are just languishing for 20 years. Our whole criminal justice system and disposal of cases is completely broken down. It's time the court really paid heed to the lack of quality of justice by doing two things. They have to quantitatively they have to increase the number of judges because we have that lowest ratio in the country, and qualitatively they have to pay judges much more than they're paying them right now. That's a given. Until you get that, this delay is going to be endemic. But you can't blame either Salman or the prosecution unless you say that Salman Khan asked for an adjournment of every one of those 13 days when the case was on. So I don't think it's fair to blame Salman for that. And of course, if he's convicted, he's going to move as expeditiously, for freedom as possible. That's his lawyers are going to do that. Freedom is a precious asset, and I know he's convicted. But so long as there's hope for him, and he has a right of appeal and a right to get bail pending appeal, he's going to exercise that right. Okay. So I don't think, and we should get away with all these extraneous, because judges are extremely mature, even at the Sessions Court level. I don't think we should get into the fact that extraneous factors taking mind of judges, celebrity or non-celebrity. Judges go by the law and the facts that are presented before them.
Okay, I just want to bring in Suhail now, and then we'll hear from Mohammed Kaleem. Suhail, you've written a piece for NDTV.com where you've actually argued that there's that all of us are kind of vultures that prey on the misfortunes of others. My own sense is that I see that the public response has lurched from fanboy sympathy, which has forgotten to be empathetic to the victims, to armchair Schadenfreude. People deriving vicarious pleasure from bringing someone else down. There is no proportionate response, perhaps, that comes with the turf of being a celebrity. What for you has struck you the most in the public response, and what does this verdict say to you today, Suhail?
Two things, both of which I've mentioned in my NDTV article. Number one, as Mahesh very rightly talks about the systemic delays, I therefore argue that the verdict is actually a verdict on us as a country and on us as a society. That we allow a system not to change, despite all the platitudes which are given on annual Supreme Court days and High Court days, where people say, oh, we must overhaul the criminal justice system, but nothing happens. The second is, what drove me completely, what saddened me was, from the morning, no one focused, and I'm delighted that you've got Kaleem Saab on your show, but not one anchor, not one television channel, not one online digital portal even talked about the victim. And the victim is, there are two victims here. The Salman Khan victim and the families that one lost a family member and the others who were injured. So what happens is celebritydom takes over and the entire debate then moves to an individual rather than to overhauling a system which today is at an inflection point. So your phrase about watershed actually carries more weight when you analyze it and link it to the enormous judicial overhauling that this country requires. We cannot have a hit and run case decided at first conviction base after 13 years. I mean, for God's sake, we are living in cuckoo land if we believe this is justice.
And so he'll think of those who were the victims who lived with this since 2002. I want to now go across to Mohammed Kaleem.
Absolutely.
I want to bring in Mohammed Kaleem. Mohammed Kaleem साहब, पूरा देश आज बात कर रहा है. 13 साल तक शायद सब आपको भूल गए. आज मीडिया वालों ने आपको याद किया. आप उनमें से थे जिनको चोट पहुंची इस हिट एंड रन केस में, और आपको मुंबई शहर छोड़कर जाना पड़ा. आप अपने गांव वापस चले गए. आज आप इस वर्डिक्ट को किस नजरिए से देखते हैं कलीम साहब?
जी,
आपकी क्या भावनाएं हैं आज सलमान खान को जब दोषी पाया गया है? आप क्या कहेंगे?
क्या कहेंगे, हमको कुछ मिलना चाहिए, बस मुआवजा हमको चाहिए.
आपको इससे मतलब नहीं,
सजा हो या कुछ भी हो,
आपको फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि सलमान खान जेल जाएंगे या नहीं जाएंगे?
अब हमको क्या मालूम जेल जाएंगे या नहीं जाएंगे, वो तो अदालत जाने, जो करेगी. हमको कुछ नहीं, हमको खाली मुआवजा चाहिए बस.
That's the point.
हमारी जिंदगी खराब हो गई.
आप हमारे दर्शकों को बताइए कि आपकी जिंदगी कैसे बदली इस हिट एंड रन केस के बाद. जब आपको चोट पहुंची, आप मुंबई छोड़ के क्यों वापस चले गए अपने गांव?
हमसे काम नहीं होता है, इसके लिए चले आए.
चोट की वजह से, जो आपको चोट लगी थी उसकी वजह से?
जी.
तो आप काम नहीं कर पाए मुंबई में उसके बाद, जब इंजरीज की वजह से?
जी.
तो आप कह रहे हैं कि हमें कोई लेना देना नहीं, सलमान खान जेल जाए या नहीं, हमें मुआवजा मिलना चाहिए आपको. लेकिन लोग कहते हैं कि न्याय भी एक चीज होती है, जस्टिस जिसको कहते हैं, न्याय भी होना चाहिए. जिसने कोई गलत काम किया जेल जाना भी जरूरी है, जो पनिशमेंट है वो भी जरूरी है. तो आप इसके बारे में आज क्या कहेंगे? आपको कभी लगा कि सलमान खान जैसे कोई बड़ा सुपरस्टार जेल जा सकता है?
हमको कुछ नहीं लगा, हमको क्या पता है.
आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे, जो सारे हमारे लोग बैठे हैं आज प्रोग्राम में, उनको क्या कहना चाहेंगे कलीम साहब?
हमको हमारा क्या हुआ, हाथ पैर सब कमर पूरा दर्द करता है, मेरा बेकाम हो गया हूँ. हमको कुछ नहीं, हमारा जिंदगी खराब हो गया है, तो हमको कुछ उसका जुर्माना चाहिए, हमको मुआवजा.
जी. So this is a very interesting and poignant moment. Here is the victim speaking, and Suhail, actually NDTV has been reporting on the story of this family through the day with my colleague Neha Masih on the ground. So we do believe in giving voice to the people whom this story is about. It's about people like Mohammed Kaleem. But he is saying, and if any of you just want to come in on this, and then I'll go to Zafar Sareshwala. Shobha, what did you make of the fact that he's saying, I'm less concerned with Salman going to jail or not, I'm more concerned with about how my life has been impacted, and whether Salman Khan goes to jail or not is not going to improve my life. Shobha first, and then Mahesh, and then I'll open it up for the others. Shobha.
But I think it's a very honest and non-dramatized truth, and we should respect him for saying it like it is. It really doesn't matter to him one way or the other. His life has changed irrevocably and forever. And for over 12 years, he's lived with the pain. He had to leave the city where he was possibly making a living. And he has lived in a complete desperation and ignored by society at large. So no amount of compensation, even if it's monetary compensation, is going to give back that life of his. So if there is a certain resignation, if he's being a little cynical, if he's being resigned to his fate right now and not thinking about Salman Khan, as the rest of the country seems to be doing, one should completely empathize with this man and reach out to him, because his pain is palpable and his life is over.
But you know, but you know what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking, listening to Kaleem
on every level.
But what I'm thinking, listening to Kaleem today, is the kind of outrageous statements we've heard, and I'll be asking Farah that in a moment from now. But why do people live on the pavement? I mean, it's almost like the rich asking, why do the poor not have homes? But Mahesh, you wanted to come in there, and then I'll take it straight to Farah. Mahesh.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mahesh.
Barkha, so far as Kaleem is concerned, you know, there was no death caused. He had injuries, and therefore he can talk about compensation. And he could have even compounded the case. The complication in Salman's case is that one person died. So you have to really find out how the family of that person feels. Because even they could have actually compounded the case. And then, you know, this is the dichotomy. The Supreme Court on the one hand says that, you know, no amount of compensation can compensate for the loss of human life. That's what the Supreme Court said in Alistair Pereira's case. And they said this must be taken seriously and there must be enhanced sentencing. But then on the other hand, not Kaleem, because as I said, there's no death involved, there's only injury. But somebody else, say somebody who dies and his family, what is their response to this kind of Supreme Court observation?
I think that's a good point.
Would they compensate, would they say that the death of what? So that's an interesting point. I mean, I'd like to see what the family members of the deceased person would say.
And that's Nurullah's family, and we are trying to find them as well. Sohail, just hold on for a second, because I want to get Farah Khan Ali in. Now, Farah, you heard Mohammed Kaleem. He was among those who was on the pavement in this hit and run case. Here's what you say. Here's what you say. You are questioning the government. You're saying the government should be responsible for housing people. If no one was sleeping on the road in any other country, Salman would not have driven over anybody. So it's not Salman's fault that he was without a license at the wheel, that he was drunk driving, that he lost control of the car. It's the government's fault, poor Salman, that people were sleeping on the street. You then go on to say it's like penalizing a train driver because someone decided to cross the tracks. And you finally say no one should be sleeping on the road or footpath. Farah, it's not... People don't sleep on the footpath by choice. Aren't these grossly insensitive comments to make?
Barkha, can I just say something? When I wrote that comment, it was what I meant to say was that the fact that people were sleeping on the footpath, and of course he was driving under the influence of alcohol, he lost control and he drove over them. Had there been no people there, he would have probably injured himself and had a car accident, okay? If you draw a comparison between Alistair Pereira's accident and Salman Khan's, both were under the influence of alcohol, both drove over people sleeping on the pavement. And I don't think this is going to end with Salman Khan or Alistair Pereira. There are going to be many more, and many more such innocent lives are going to go. So when I wrote that tweet, I was angry with the government for not providing us the infrastructure. I wasn't defending Salman and saying that he wasn't at fault. Of course, because drinking under the influence of alcohol is a crime. And my heart goes out for people like Mohammed Kaleem. And I wish that he wasn't in the accident. But all I'm trying to say is, Alistair Pereira got 3 years for killing 7 people and going over 15, and Salman Khan, because he's a superstar, gets 5 years. What kind of logic is that?
Okay, we'll explore that. But Nikhil Wagle, is Farah's explanation legitimate? Does it take away from what seems to all of us to be a callous statement to make in the enthusiasm to defend Salman Khan? Nikhil?
I can understand defending Salman Khan, but this kind of statement is totally senseless, and not only senseless, it is inhuman. People are praying for Salman Khan, but what happens to those victims who are there for 13 years? One has died, one has lost his feet, and 4 more are injured. So they have not got compensation. Barkha, this is justice denied, justice delayed, but not denied. But this is a classic system, a classic case of rotten judicial system. Police mishandled the case, defense delayed the case, main witness was threatened. How he died, we don't know. He was put in jail, he ran away from his home. Ravindra Patil, I am speaking about Ravindra Patil, constable who was on duty to guard Salman. He died in between in 2007. Nobody is asking question. This is the classic case of delayed justice. And police, initially, police refused to clamp 304 on Salman. He was freed in 24 hours. Nobody asking this question. I am not happy because this case has shown us ugly face of Indian system.
Okay, those are strong words, and I want to take them back to the panel, Nikhil. But Zafar Sareshwala, you're a friend of the Khan family. You seem to be the
Barkha.
Yeah, Farah, quick rebuttal there, and then Zafar and Sohail, please, quickly. Farah, quickly.
Yes, I just want to understand. Just say one thing here. I didn't mean to be callous. I didn't mean to be what you say I am. But there is a comparison between the pavement dwellers who died, whether it was Alistair Pereira or Salman Khan. Tomorrow there will be another drunk driving incident and more people will die. Shouldn't the government not allow the poor people to sleep on the big main roads and allow them to sleep in the gullies?
But Farah, hang on. I mean, you're
yes,
saying that
the fault is of
the poor man who doesn't have a house over a roof over his head, and not of the person who's drinking and driving.
No. I'm blaming the I'm blaming the government. I'm not saying Salman is faultless. I'm saying he is to blame. But I'm saying why 5 years? Why not 3 years? Why not the minimum sentence like Alistair Pereira got? Alistair Pereira killed 7 people.
Nikhil, you have a question for Farah?
No, I want to ask her, does she know Indian reality? Why people sleep on pavement? It is because they have no option. They have no house. That is the problem.
Yes,
and
I know
is blaming
Indian
government. Housing,
so the government should provide
is totally
the
different problem.
Yes.
Is government responsible for Salman Khan's drinking and rash driving? Let us answer this.
Yeah, it's a good point. And Zafar Sareshwala, you answer it.
Going on?
Zafar,
okay, are you okay?
Hang on.
Let me answer that.
Farah, hang on.
Let me quickly answer that.
No, Farah.
Poor people sleep on pavements, and this kind of people make statements. Totally inhuman, senseless.
Yeah, Zafar, let's bring you in. You're a family friend of Salman Khan.
Let me quickly answer that.
Farah, I'll give you a chance to argue back. I want to bring in the others now. Zafar, please go ahead with your thoughts today. You see, for people who are the victims, it's very difficult to understand all this poor Salman business. Why? I mean, yes, it's unfortunate that anyone has to go into jail, but it's the consequence of his own action. So why this huge tidal wave of sympathy for him, forgetting Muhammad Kaleem, forgetting Noorullah who died? Zafar Sareshwala.
Barkha, here are 3 things. First of all, the kind of tweets which the people from Bollywood have made are appalling. I mean, there's no justification. They're absolutely callous. There's no justification for that. Even the Khan family would not approve these kind of statements because I know them.
Okay.
Second, yes, the victims are there. And Barkha, we are forgetting one thing. Right at the outset, the Khan family had deposited few lakhs of rupees for the victims. True. But till today, that money has not reached to the victims.
That's true.
None of the victims got that. So they had deposited that money in 2002 itself. Now I'll come to the genesis of the whole issue. This case was created to teach him a lesson. It was just a pure accident. There are victims. But this 304 was an afterthought of then government of the day. They just wanted to teach Salman Khan a lesson, and for God's sake, he spent 18 nights on that day. And then the kind of hue and cry which was made again when this case was started, bringing a public prosecutor. I mean, their whole vibe was to teach Salman Khan a lesson. So for me, the victims are there already, and Salman Khan is also a victim. For 13 years he has been suffering.
Salman Khan is also a victim.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, I
don't
want to
agree
take
with
that statement to the
This
panel.
victimhood of Salman Khan.
Listen to me, the victims are
No,
there.
no, I don't agree
and
with.
Salman, listen
No,
to me,
no,
let me
no. I
complete.
don't agree.
I
will
did
tell you
not-
one thing.
Let me complete. Please, Mr. Wagle. Let me complete. Let me
Stop
complete, then you
protecting
can
Salman.
talk. He
has committed a
in
crime.
the court itself, Salman Khan's lawyer offered that
Salman
we are
Khan's
ready to
lawyer
make a
delayed
huge
the
compensation
case.
and
They pressurized the
and you
business.
give us 3 years.
Okay, 1 minute.
No, they never pressurized.
both
This
had
is your
your say.
figment
They
of your
pressurized.
imagination.
Take the
This
case of
is
Ravindra
figment of
Patil.
your imagination. No
Kaleem,
pressure was
I
made
want to-
on
I want to
the
know-
I am
witnesses.
giving example.
On the contrary, they paid money right at the outset.
They delayed the
So
case
this was
deliberately by
actually a
abusing
ploy
system.
created by the government
Okay,
of the
let me-
day
let-
to teach Salman
Nikhil
Khan a
and
lesson.
Zafar, I'm bringing in Sohail and then
They paid
Mahesh.
money because
1
of
minute.
our PIL.
1 minute.
We
Sohail-
went to High Court.
Nikhil,
We
1
filed
minute.
PIL in High Court before Justice Ajit Shah. He ordered compensation of 19 lakhs to victim within a week. Salman didn't pay voluntarily.
Okay, let me
He
bring.
paid because of High Court order.
1 minute.
But
Mahesh
that money is
Jethmalani.
paid
Mahesh
right at the
Jethmalani.
beginning.
Okay, listen.
That money is with High Court because of some dispute in
I
families.
want to go
Do
to
you know that?
Why that money didn't go to the victims? That
Because
money,
of the
even if
dispute
it
in
would have been
victims'
3 times in 13 years, why that money is
Because
still
of
lying?
Sir, this is because of the dispute in victims' families.
Okay, I think you both had your say.
But what is Salman to do with that?
Okay,
But
Mahesh,
what has Salman
Mahesh
to do
and
with
Shobha,
that? He
please
deposited
let
the money
other
right at
people
the
speak.
outset.
Nikhil and Zafar.
But there is a punishment for this crime.
Mahesh.
Not only compensation.
Nikhil,
but
I'll come back
that
to you.
is- that is
Nikhil
disproportionate.
and Zafar, I'm
Stop
going to
defending
shout
Salman
over
is
you.
disproportionate.
I
Stop
am now
defending
going to
Salman
have to
Khan.
interrupt you and bring your
He has
mics
committed
down.
a crime.
I'm going to have to bring your mics down because others have to speak.
Politicians put pressure.
Okay, Sohail, very quickly then Mahesh. Sohail, Zafar Sareshwala just said Salman Khan is a victim as well. How is Salman Khan a victim? That's what Nikhil Wagle is getting so exercised about.
Yeah, so my request to Nikhil Wagle would be to allow me to finish because I have not interrupted him. And frankly, my eardrums are bursting at the intensity of decibels. So I'll make a limited point from what I've understood of what this gentleman said. I believe he says that the family of Salman Khan may have gone through trials and tribulations. That is his belief. I have mentioned in my article pointedly this morning that there are very severe issues related to the victims' families, the people the one person who died and the people who were injured. From Kaleem Saab's comments, it is quite evident that they have not received compensation. You see, whether the money was deposited, not deposited, whose fault it is, whether government, system, judge, irrelevant. The point is that Kaleem Saab is sitting in Uttar Pradesh. Salman Khan will go to jail. No one's lives have improved. We keep talking about in a platitudinal manner about the so-called justice system and that finally it's a great leveler. Where is it a leveler? The people who are involved, one person is going to jail after 13 years. One person is sitting in Uttar Pradesh. The family of the person who died, we can't trace. We don't know what their condition is. So you tell me, what kind of justice are we talking about and why should we be self-congratulatory?
Okay,
why
now,
should we congratulate the Indian justice system
Now Mahesh
today?
and Shobha, and then I want to go back to Mohammad Kaleem. Mahesh, Zafar Sareshwala says, his most provocative remark, Salman Khan is also a victim. Something that Farah is endorsing. But think of what Mohammad Kaleem is speaking today as the rich and the famous of India are asking why people sleep on pavements. I mean, it just makes us seem so classist and out of sync with what drives people to desperation. Is Salman Khan a victim, Mahesh?
I think both Zafar Bhai and Farah, and they're both friends of mine. I think they're way off the mark. I'm sure when they reflect upon what they've said, they'll realize it's crassly sensitive to say what they've said, because you can't play the victim card. The man was allegedly drunk. He's been found to have been drunk. He was speeding. And Farah should realize, I mean, she probably doesn't know, but the Supreme Court actually convicted Alistair Pereira on.
I have to interrupt you, Mahesh. I did not.
Mahesh,
I did not say. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt you. I did not say he was not drunk. I did not say he did not commit a crime. I just
no, I'm not saying you said that. I'm not saying you're saying.
If there was nobody sleeping on the pavement, he wouldn't have run over them.
You're putting words in my mouth. I didn't.
I am not. I'm not.
Say you said that.
No, but Mahesh, but I am not portraying him to be a victim. I am not portraying him to be a victim.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
No, I'm not saying you said he's a victim.
I just said
your statement about
he is guilty of drunk driving.
Not letting people sleep on pavements is unfortunate. I can only say that. I don't want to. This is not about you, and this is not about Zafar Bhai. This is really about Salman and the victims of the accident.
Okay, I just want to ask you as a lawyer tomorrow. I want to ask you. I want to ask you as a lawyer, tomorrow there'll be another case. I want to ask you as a lawyer, tomorrow there'll be more people killed on a pavement because another drunk person drove over them. Do you think that would be nice? Do you think that would be nice? Again, innocent lives would be lost.
Well, the answer is not
to get... What I'm trying to say, we
what
need to
does the question even mean, Farah?
The remedy...
Give them home.
1 minute, Farah, now you had your word, just let me speak. There's no point going on, unilaterally. Let me respond to you. I've understood what you said. You're basically saying that it could be repeated tomorrow. The answer to preventing deaths of pavement dwellers is not to remove pavement dwellers from sleeping on the pavement because the government doesn't have adequate housing. There's a shortage of revenue. The answer is to stop people from drunk driving and speed driving.
Okay, Shobha Dey, let's bring you in. You've heard Farah, you've heard Zafar.
But I also said, no, can I just say
one thing?
Farah,
Farah, you can respond after Shobha. Okay, one sentence, then Shobha. Okay, Farah, go.
Okay.
1 minute. Shobha.
Okay.
Shobha.
No, I just want... Okay, let Shobha say.
Thank you. Thanks, Barkha.
Barkha,
this is really the time for sobriety.
Victims are there.
Time for sobriety.
Zafar, 1 minute. Zafar, 1 minute.
I can't yell above everybody else, so tell me when I can speak.
Please go ahead, Shobha.
Thank you. Thanks, Barkha. The thing is, across the board, it's been seen as the victory of the common man. That's what it's been looked at. Dispassionately, without personalities involved. What we are talking about right now in the context of the tweets is the entitled elite of India versus the hopelessly poor and the disenfranchised on every level. This is a different issue. And the minute we get confusing and conflicting arguments into this is not about Alistair Pereira, and why should we be comparing the two cases in the first place? Salman Khan is a phenomenon. He has a huge amount of support across not just his fans but within the film industry. We shouldn't even be talking about how many crores are going to be lost because of what the judgment says. The thing is, the judge has pronounced a judgment we have to respect. Yeah. Everybody is the same in the eyes of the law.
Yeah.
We cannot bring in arguments about, what might happen in hypothetical situations in future, whether there'll be more cases of celebrity drunken driving and accidents.
And also it's insensitive.
That is beyond the scope and realm of today's arguments and this panel discussion. These are all hypothetical questions. It's like saying, is it going to tomorrow there could be a third world war?
No, but
this is an emotional response. I get it. It's said in a moment of, great kind of overwhelming love for Salman. I get that. But I think we should just drop it and leave it there and not make it worse by indicting the very people who are the victims of an unfortunate accident.
I just want to ask Mohammed...
These are the poor. These are the victims, the real victims. One is dead, 3 are injured.
I just want to bring in Mohammed Kaleem back into the conversation, and then I just want to read out some completely outrageous tweets that have been posted by Abhijit, the well-known singer, and we'll hope to have him on the phone line in a moment from now. कलीम साहब, यहाँ पर कुछ लोगों ने कहा है कि भाई गलती सरकार की है कि पेवमेंट पर लोग सो ही क्यों रहे थे। शायद लोग नहीं समझते कि गरीबी की वजह से, घर ना होने की वजह से लोग पेवमेंट पर सोते हैं। आज एक म्यूजिशियन है, उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि जो सड़कें हैं वो गाड़ियों के लिए होती हैं, लोगों के सोने के लिए नहीं। और उन्होंने आगे ये भी कहा, कुत्ता रोड पर सोएगा तो कुत्ते की मौत मरेगा, रोड गरीब की बाप की नहीं है। I mean, this is the most shocking thing I've heard, I think, ever. Kutta road pe soega, kutte ki maut marega. He's obviously being metaphorical, but it's awfully callous. रोड्स गरीब की बाप की नहीं है, एंड देन ही गोज ऑन टू से दैट ही वाज आल्सो होमलेस फॉर अ ईयर। कलीम साहब, जब इस तरह की बयानबाजी आती है कि गरीब आदमी सड़क पे क्यों सोता है, तो आपको उत्तर प्रदेश में बैठकर ये सब सुनने से बहुत गुस्सा आता होगा।
जी,
क्या बोलेंगे आप कि गरीबी की वजह से क्यों सोते हैं? मतलब लोगों को समझाइए, हालांकि उनको समझाने की जरूरत नहीं होती कि किसी के पास घर हो तो वो पेवमेंट पे क्यों सोएगा।
वो हमारे रहने का वहाँ व्यवस्था होता तो मैं थोड़ी सोता वहाँ पे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, आपने बिल्कुल ठीक बात कही। और आपने मुआवजा की बात कही, तो आपको मुआवजा मिला है अभी तक कलीम?
नहीं,
कुछ भी नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं।
बिग इशू बरखा,
बिल्कुल नहीं मिला मुआवजा कलीम?
नहीं, हमको कुछ नहीं मिला है।
Now
this is what we must focus on in the media.
Yeah, Sohail, go ahead. Sohail, go ahead, and I want to get Abhijit on the phone line.
You see,
please. Yes, Sohail.
Barkha, it's very interesting, and I must express my lack of knowledge of this, and Mahesh knew about it, but A, we didn't know that some monies were deposited. B, what happens in these 13 years, and this is only the first base, there will be appeals, this case will drag on.
Yeah.
What actually happens to the families? What happens to the poor? What happens to the deprived in this country? And it is unfair to only blame a Salman Khan. I'm glad that we're discussing it in that context, otherwise the context wouldn't have arisen. So in many ways, this whole issue has been brought to the fore because Salman has been convicted. Otherwise, this wouldn't have been brought to the
But
fore.
Sohail, what do you have to say? But Sohail, what do you have to say? But Sohail, what do you have to say about Farah's statements? Why are people sleeping on the pavement? Abhijit, kutta road pe soega, kutte ki maut marega. What is all this nonsense?
Look, I must make full disclosure. I know Farah well. I know her parents well. I know the stock she comes from, the values she espouses. I think, as Mahesh said, or I think Shobha said, it must have been in an overwhelming, affectionate moment, and she's clarified it. Abhijit, on another channel, clarified it in the most stupid manner by saying that, look, I've slept, on roads, but I never chose a road. I used to go to a train station to sleep at. The point is, celebrities, whether it's Farah, Abhijit, whoever it is, must also remember that today public opinion has dramatically altered. We are seeking a more equal and just society. We are seeking a level playing field. We also want to bring our heroes down. That reality exists, which I mentioned in my article.
Yeah.
So with all these conundrums that we face in our daily lives, a certain level of responsibility needs to creep in.
Yeah.
But again, Barkha, without knocking the media, and I think y'all have done a splendid job by getting Kaleem Saab on the program, I think the media now needs to move, as Shobha also said, to solution mode. We need to carry on a solution-based investigation or expose or intense gaze on what happens in cases such as these. What happens to the families, what happens to the victims, or will they be remembered much like the Upar victims once a year when we remember the tragic
I think you make
that is, to my mind, the way forward.
I think you make an important point about the fickleness of the media as well. Now, Nikhil Wagle, I want to bring you in. You've been very angry. You're saying this verdict is no template at all. But Farah is pointing out that actually Salman Khan has got harsher punishment than either in the Alistair Pereira case or in the Sanjeev Nanda BMW case, where Sanjeev Nanda only got 2 years, as far as I remember. So why are you seeing this as some kid glove treatment of Salman Khan? You have Mohammad Kaleem sitting there. He's saying, "Mujhe muavza hi nahi mila, mujhe compensation hi nahi mila." Nikhil.
Barkha.
Yes, Nikhil.
Let us not be satisfied with this verdict. I am not concerned about whether the punishment is of 5 years or 3 years.
Yeah.
There are many unanswered questions. Salman's people, defense lawyers tried to pressurize witnesses. These are allegations. We have to investigate them. Why police did mishandle the case initially? Why 304 was not clamped? After public outcry, this section was clamped, for which he was held responsible today. Third question is that, are we going to reform Motor Vehicle Act? What about compensation? 19 lakhs interim compensation was deposited in Mumbai High Court in 2002.
Yes.
What happened to that amount? It was interim compensation.
Yes.
Why this court did not say anything about compensation?
That's a very important question.
I think these are basic questions.
That's my point.
I want Mahesh to come in, but first Zafar. Zafar, you said Salman Khan is also a victim and you set the cat among the pigeons with that. Explain yourself.
No, Barkha, what I said, see, I never, always mentioned about the victims. And that's why I brought this 19 lakhs. That what happened? I am glad that Mr. Nikhil brought this. 19 lakhs lying since 2002. And I think you should take the cue. You have brought this Kaleem Saab. You should also hunt the gentleman who died. And what about his family?
Yes.
And at least we all who are together here,
Yes.
why not we do something and create some corpus for these people?
But so where is this money?
And Salman Khan
Where
and
is
Salman
this
Khan's
19
family
lakhs?
is known.
Where is
is
this
known
19
for
lakhs?
their
Zafar
philanthropic
Sareshwala,
activity.
High Court. It is with High Court.
Mahesh, what do you make of this? This is very curious. Mahesh, the court today said no more compensation. You have Kaleem here saying, "Mujhe to kuch mila hi nahi." You have Nikhil pointing out, Zafar pointing out, 19 lakhs is with the High Court. Where is this money?
Well, I don't know. Nikhil Wagle seems to suggest that some petition was filed in which he was involved, and that's how the compensation was paid. It wasn't a voluntary payment by Salman, and it was paid under the orders of the court. If that's the case, then the very people who filed the petition should have told the court that please give liberty for the victims of this accident to withdraw that amount from court, or let us withdraw it and hand it over to them under the court's aegis.
Yes.
It shouldn't be lying in court just accumulating nominal interest. It should be actually paid out.
Court
I mean, there's no
of some
point
dispute.
money remaining in court which is meant for the victims.
Nikhil, what are you saying?
Which dispute? I'm
This
not
is
aware.
lying in court because of some dispute.
Between whom? Who is the dispute between?
Families of victims. Court contacted these people, families of victim and their lawyers. But they filed another case. I think wife of the dead person
Yes.
and father of the dead person, they
Okay.
have some dispute. That's why that money is lying in High Court.
Okay. We should follow that. Now, Farah, I want to bring you back in. I'm taking last comments from all of you. Farah, you heard what Kaleem said. मेरे पास कोई और जगह होती तो मैं थोड़ी ना सो रहा होता pavement पर. And
Yes.
look at Abhijit's comments. I mean, do you really want to be clubbed with Abhijit's today? You know, you've gone on to say I have a right to my opinion.
Barkha, I want to be.
Yeah, go ahead, Farah.
I would like to say one thing here. I do not endorse Abhijit's comments. I would not say that dogs only sleep on the streets.
Yeah.
I feel for the poor, and that's exactly why I said the government has a right to provide housing for these poor people. And it angers me because we pay our taxes, we see poor people not having housing, any facility. And what Mohammed Kaleem lost his leg in an accident because he happened to be sleeping on a street, and Salman in his drunk driving ran him over. Had he not been sleeping there, he wouldn't have lost his leg. So my point here is my anger is towards the government, not towards the poor people, because I don't think they're at fault. They don't have any option.
Shobha De, your last thoughts today. The fact of the matter is that as I said in the beginning of this program, there seem to be two parallel universes, two parallel ways of thinking. There is no intersection. I mean, Kaleem is probably listening to all this and with deep cynicism today.
Well, Barkha, the thing is that Hollywood and Bollywood, they both exist in their own self-created bubbles, and I don't expect anything beyond that. It is a fantasy world, it is a very different reality, and they are expressing their solidarity the best way they can. But my point is that Salman Khan has been a free man. He has had 13 years of freedom in which to introspect and maybe to think about what happened those very many years ago. I think he has tried in his own way. He's gotten into, creating a brand. He's gotten into humanitarian acts which have benefited a lot of people. Perhaps, and we should maybe give him the benefit of the doubt, it's been a very strong and bitter learning experience for him. And maybe he's truly sorry for what happened, except that now it's a done deal. He has been convicted, and he should take it on the chin like a man and deal with it like he does in his movies, heroically. And there'll be a lot more sympathy for him from the public, and people will think much more of him if he did that.
कलीम साहब, आपने कहा मुआवजा मेरे लिए जरूरी है, सलमान खान को क्या होता है इससे मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, लेकिन एक नूरुल्लाह थे आपके साथ, वो तो मारे गए, उनकी फैमिली को तो फर्क पड़ेगा कि सलमान खान को जो पनिशमेंट मिलनी चाहिए वो मिलती है या नहीं?
जी,
आपको लगता नहीं कि एक चीज होती है न्याय कि जो नूरुल्लाह थे आपके साथ, नूरुल्लाह जो मारे गए, उनको तो फर्क पड़ेगा कि सलमान खान जेल जाते हैं या नहीं, उनकी फैमिली को?
उस फर्क तो पड़ेगा ही।
आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे हमारे सब दर्शकों को आज? आपको तो अपने गांव में आप क्या करते हैं आजकल?
कुछ नहीं, घर पे बैठा रहता हूँ, कुछ काम हम नहीं करता।
कुछ भी नहीं?
जी।
और आप कह रहे हैं एक पैसा मुआवजा नहीं मिला अभी तक?
कोर्ट की तरफ से खाली 1.5 लाख रुपए मिला था, वही दवाई दरमद में सब खर्चा हो गया है।
अच्छा।
वो हमको नहीं दिया, कोर्ट की तरफ से मिला था बस।
जी। Mahesh Jethmalani, last thoughts tonight. 30 seconds to all of you. We'll start with Mahesh.
Well, Barkha, I think that the facts of this case are best left. The facts, the law, and the judgment on this case is best left to the sobriety and wisdom of the judge himself. And we've had the Sessions Court verdict. The only disturbing feature is the 13-year delay in this case. That troubles me, and we really have to do something. I mean, the real need right now of the hour is to make sure that these endemic delays are put an end to. As regards other people wading in on one side or the other, I say to Salman, God save me from my friends. And I say to the section of the media that please don't be a lynch mob. Not everything that Salman's lawyers do must be, castigated and said to be unfair or somehow subversive of the judicial system.
Okay, out of time. Sohail, 20 seconds, last thoughts.
Salman has been convicted, but India and media will remain on trial. The only solution and the only way forward is to prevent and to create an architecture of jurisprudence which doesn't create a Kaleem sitting in Uttar Pradesh languishing and 13 years for a hit-and-run case to come to fruition. That is the biggest learning today.
Zafar, very brief last thoughts. Zafar.
Yeah, I think I'm very glad you brought the victim Kaleem, and you have also mentioned about Nurullah. I think we should create a system where a corpus of compensation is created, and the Khan family, which I know, not as a superstar or film family, I know that family as a philanthropist. Salman has given 42 crores in his charity. I think we should create a corpus for such victims, that no victim remains without compensation.
Nikhil, very brief last comment.
Let us follow two things: compensation and reforms in Motor Vehicle Act. And my little advice to Salman Khan: dear, you are a superstar, but try to be human.
Shobha, that's what you tweeted today. Now's the time to be human. We'll end with you getting the last word.
Well, that was before the judgment, of course, and what I meant was, whether it's victory or defeat, the right attitude for Salman Khan to adopt would be one of humility and dignity, and project that to his millions of fans the world over. It will just make him a bigger man.
We'll leave it there. Lots to think about tonight. It is in many ways a landmark verdict. It will be appealed in the High Court, and we'll keep an eye on this story. Many questions raised about our judicial system, the pace of justice, how justice is delayed and in effect often denied, and yet before the law all are equal. Mahesh Jethmalani, Sohail Seth, Shobha Dey, Nikhil Wagle, Farah Khan Ali, Zafar Sareshwala, and most of all Mohammad Kaleem. Thank you for joining us on the Buck Stops here tonight.